There is a certain kind of person who feels everything, who cries at a stranger's good news, who walks into a room and knows before a single word that something is wrong, who carries other people's moods home like a coat they can't take off. For their whole life, they have been told the same thing. You're too sensitive, you feel too much, and they have half believed it. But the science says something rather different. Feeling too much is not a flaw, but it is not simply a gift either. It is a specific, measurable way a human nervous system is built and shaped, and it comes at a cost that most people never see. To understand it, you have to start with a question no one asks the sensitive person. Not what is wrong with you, but where did this come from? Because it comes from one of two places, sometimes both. The first is that you were simply born this way. In the 1990s, the psychologist Elaine Aron identified a real inherited trait, sensory processing sensitivity. Around 1 in 5 people have it. Their nervous system takes in more and processes it more deeply. This is not just a feeling, it is visible in the brain. When highly sensitive people look at another person's emotion, scans show stronger activity in the insula, the part of the brain that blends what you feel in your body with what you sense in others. But for many people, feeling everything did not begin as a trait. It began as a skill. A nervous system that learned early in a home that was unpredictable or unsafe to read every face, every silence, every shift in tone, because reading it correctly kept you safe. Researchers can see this too. Children who grow up around threat develop a brain that reacts faster and harder to the smallest sign of danger, a raised voice, a change of face, often before they are even aware of it. In an unsafe world, that is not weakness, it is survival. Born sensitive or made watchful, either way, the adult carries the same 5 signs. Sign 1. You feel emotions more intensely and they last longer. Where someone else brushes off a comment in an hour, you are still turning it over that night. Not because you are dramatic, because a deep processing brain does not just feel a thing, it examines it from every side. Psychologists call the long version of this rumination the mind returning again and again to the same emotional moment. It can bring insight others miss. It can also keep a wound open long after everyone else has forgotten it was made. Sign 2. You do not just understand other people's pain, you feel it, physically, as if it were your own. In 2004, the neuroscientist Tanya Singer showed why. When you watch someone you care about in pain, the same emotional circuits fire in your brain as if the pain were happening to you. For a sensitive person, that signal is turned up loud. You are not imagining it. You are neurologically sharing it. It is the root of deep compassion. It is also why a room full of other people's feelings can leave you exhausted without a single thing having happened to you. Sign 3. You read the room before anyone speaks. The micro-expression that crosses a face, the half-second pause before, I'm fine, the temperature of a silence. For the person whose sensitivity was built in an unsafe past, this is the survival skill, still running. A radar that never fully switches off, scanning for the change that once meant danger. It makes you extraordinarily perceptive. It also means you are rarely, fully at rest. Sign 4. Somewhere along the way you were taught your feelings were a problem. Don't cry. Don't be so sensitive. You're too much. The psychologist Marsha Linehan described what this does. When an environment repeatedly tells a person their inner world is wrong, they don't stop feeling. They learn to distrust the feeling and then to do the dismissing themselves. The too much moves from their voice into your own head. Sign 5. You become the one who carries everyone, the one who notices, who soothes, who holds the group together, who feels responsible for how everyone else is doing. Researchers have a name for the extreme of this, unmitigated communion, caring for others so completely that the self disappears. It looks like kindness. It is linked, in study after study, not to closeness, but to exhaustion and quiet distress. Put the five together, and you have a person who is always receiving, always reading, always holding, and almost never off. That is the real cost, not the feeling without a single boundary around it. But here is the turn. Feeling too much is not a disorder, and it was never a weakness. It is a deep processing nervous system, sometimes inherited, sometimes forged in survival, often both. The exhaustion was never the depth. It was the depth with no edges. So if this is you, 3 things set you free. 1. Feeling it is not the same as being responsible for it. You can feel a person's pain and still know it is not yours to fix. 2. Not every emotion is an instruction. A feeling can be real and true and still not require you to do anything at all. 3. Depth without boundaries is exhaustion. Depth with boundaries is wisdom. The goal was never to feel less. It was to stop carrying what was never yours. Your sensitivity was never the problem. The problem was being taught to distrust it and never being shown where you end and everyone else begins. You are not too much. You have simply been feeling all this time without a single wall to rest against. You are allowed to build one. There are free guides and workbooks below to help you build those boundaries, gently, at your own pace. And if any of this ran deeper than sensitivity, please reach out to a specialist support service in your country. You are not alone.